Arnie's Butcher Shop, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I grabbed a cheesesteak from Arnie's and took it over to Philadelphia Brewing Company, and Rich Shane and I recorded an episode for Fermented Adventure podcast. So I think what I'll do now is I'll cut to the video that I made while we were at Philadelphia Brewing Company. You can hear Richie in the background there, and then I will play the Arnie's cheesesteak portion from the Fermented Adventure podcast. So without further ado, here we are.
Where I finished up and it's like, sorry.
How long does it take before you know it's good?
I've learned.
Arnie's.
It's like everything else. It's like a learning process.
Arnie's Gourmet Deli. This is your typical deli type sandwich. Deli type cheesesteak where there's a lot of meat, nice good hearty roll. I don't know if there's a lot of cheese that just got melted deep into the sandwich or what happened to it, but good cheesesteak. Good deli style cheesesteak. Love the amount of meat. Love a nice good roll. Arnie's. Hated having to wait for my sandwich when everybody sat around chatting, but I did love the sandwich. Now, Rich, give me your first impression.
All right, my first impression is I like the seeded roll, but the meat kind of looks like it was shoved in there. It's it's full of meat. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of meat there, but I don't see any cheese. And if you got mushrooms and onions, I don't know where they are, but right now it still smells great. But you're the expert on here, so I'll wait to hear what you say. It still looks full. It's a little bit smaller than the one we just had, but you tell me. Kind of give me. So right now, Jim's going through the process of the Philadelphia Cheesesteak Adventure. He's taking some pictures and doing what he does. He's doing what he does. He's going through his progressions, I guess. All right, so tell me your first impressions there.
My first impression, I took your advice, and I have the Kessinger beer here.
So you got the Kessinger.
And I like it. What I was hoping to do. I was hoping our first cheesesteak was from a Poppy corner store, a little more standard and a little more just meat roll and cheese,
right?
So that we could see an upgrade. Because this came from a place that's a self-proclaimed gourmet.
All right, so this is like this. If you're putting it on the pedestal, this is where you should be getting the cheesesteak from, right? If you're coming to Philadelphia, this is a standout.
Well, this actually came from New Jersey.
Never mind. If you're coming to New Jersey, this is a standout. This is what you should be trying.
I picked that up to move that over there. I don't know if how much you
That's
want
fine.
to touch it.
No, you're good. I love again. As a rule, I think cheesesteak should be allowed to sit for a half an hour now. So the bread, I can see. It's like when you look at a barrel after bourbon's been sitting, you get that ring inside the barrel, and you can see where it's permeated the barrel. That's exactly what this cheesesteak looks like. How far? So the bread is kind of the best thing about this is the bread gets the angel share, or in this case, we'll call the butcher share. So it's a great cheese and oil and juice ring. I love that.
Exactly, and you know it's funny too. If you look at the difference if you just look at the difference of these cheesesteaks, this came from your pizza shop, pretty standard, pretty good. But if you just compare the two,
there's a lot more meat in the second one.
The seeded roll, the bread soaking up the juice, not a whole lot of juice in there. You got a whole bunch of bread.
I'm still looking for your mushrooms and your onions, but they may be
in
there
somewhere.
There's
like an onion there.
Okay.
They're like you got to really look for them, but they're stuck in there.
It's like where's Waldo? Where's the onion?
And it's funny because I'm interested, like you're saying, because you're pointing that out. I'm interested to see where is the cheese. The cheese could be just melted through there pretty darn well. But we'll find that out in a
minute. Again, I can't believe how much my mouth is watering. You chew first, so you can give us your impressions, and then
it tastes like a deli sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
It
almost tastes like a roast beef sandwich more than a cheesesteak, doesn't it?
Exactly. And that's why when you talk about the balance, that's why you need to break out. Are you talking about like a traditional cheesesteak that we got as kids from a pizza shop on the corner? Or are we going to a deli? Because this is a better cut of meat. It's a better, denser roll. I actually think the roll might be a little too dense.
Yeah,
a little
it's
too
chewy.
Yeah, it's
like a chewy roll, right?
Yeah, it might be a touch much. But you know what? If you eat this cheesesteak with the mindset of a deli sandwich, well, then it works better together. Where if you eat it thinking you're eating a traditional cheesesteak, where you want that crusty, less bready roll, the chopped up meat, then you're not going to like this, because it's made. It's almost made with a different mindset. It's almost made like I make all my roast beef sandwiches, my turkey sandwiches, where I stick a ton of meat on top of a roll.
Right.
So yeah, you know what? Approaching this as a deli sandwich, it is a much better cut of meat. Nice glob of meat put in there, and you can see the mushrooms are in there. You can see the mushrooms were definitely sauteed or set. Definitely. Well, you're the Johnson Wales guy. What did they do to mushroom? Because
you know what's interesting? You've really opened my eyes, and this is why it's great. You've really opened my eyes to appreciate a cheesesteak on a different level. Now, even from the meat, first of all, one of the things I was looking for was that seasoning from the first one. I get a little more saltiness, I get a little more pepper. There's like a balance. But, the cut of meat and how that goes through that, it's a whole different experience. And, we just can't think of a cheesesteak as a cheesesteak. You've got to think of it as its own individual sandwich. And I think that's really what comes out from this conversation that we're having, that there are different categories, different criteria. Now you have me wanting to, put an egg on that and fry it up. But here's the thing. These are both fantastic illustrations of a cheesesteak or a cheesesteak sandwich, because even the first one, with the roll, and I got a lot more mushroom, I got a lot more onion, less on this, but I get a lot of the seasoned meat flavor.